Good, happy Tuesday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. First up, former Manchester daycare worker accused of abusing infants. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
Spring cleaning sales event. Out with the old, then in with the new. New 2017 Hyundai Santa Fe is for only $199 a month. Better is the reason to buy at Nashua Hyundai during the spring cleaning sales event.
The Thompson Auto
So approximately 2 weeks ago, the Manchester Police Department received information from the Department of Health and Human Services in regards to a case they were investigating. Their child care licensing unit was looking into Alphabet Learning Center, which is on the west side of the city here in Manchester. Throughout their investigation, they learned that, Throughout their investigation, Department of Health and Human Services realized that the actions that they were investigating into this one individual employee may rise to the level of criminal acts. So they were passing the info on to us. So 2 weeks ago, we, as the Manchester Police Department Investigative Division, started investigating whether or not these acts rose to the level of criminal action. At that point, we learned that the person in question's name was Chelsea Blaze, age 32 years old. We contacted her. She was completely cooperative with the investigation, and we did realize that, in fact, some of her actions at the daycare rose to the level of criminal activity. So at that point, we prepared arrest warrants for her, and she was taken into custody this morning at around 11 o'clock. She was charged with 4 counts of simple assault, and those 4 counts of simple assault are all surrounding incidents involving 3 separate infant children at the daycare.
What did she do?
The case is still under investigation, so there's a lot we can't get into, but the charges stem from the fact of her contact while employed at the daycare. It's important to understand that prior to us investigating this incident, she no longer worked at the daycare, so her employment had ended at that point that we started our investigation.
Were these charges initially brought to the Department of Health and Human Services from parents of these infants?
I can't get into that portion, but I can say that the investigation started at the level of the Department of Health and Human Services.
And would something like this then be brought about by parents, or was it the school?
I can't get into that either. That's part of the ongoing investigation.
I'm just confused. Did she hit them?
I can't get into that either. The assault charges are simple assault level charges. They're misdemeanor level charges. There are 4 charges of simple assault that she's facing, and they are in regards to her contact with 3 individual children.
Over what time period did this happen?
What simple assault here in New Hampshire, as far as the misdemeanor, what it can range from, what it could be? Sure.
Simple assault is generally just unprivileged physical contact against another. It has no basis on the fact that these victims are children, just the unprivileged physical contact.
Over what time period do you believe this happened?
Our investigation spans for approximately 3 to 4 weeks, and it's also important to get out to the public that all the families involved in this have been notified. We don't have any reason to believe that there are any other outstanding victims that have not been notified, and there's no reason to believe that any of the children that there are other child victims at the school at this point.
Has Alphabet been cooperating?
They've been completely transparent and cooperative, yes.
What is
conditions of the victims?
I can't get into that. No major injuries, but I can't get into their conditions either.
What is the status of Chelsea Blaze?
Chelsea Blaze was taken into custody this morning, as I said, around 11 o'clock. She came in on her own, turned herself in, and her bail was set at $5,000 personal recognizance. So that's all I'm going to say right now.
But your name?
Oh, your name.
Yep. My name is Matthew LaRochelle. I'm a detective sergeant with the Manchester Police Department.
Spell your last name.
Yep. LAROCHELLE.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Workers die after contact with power line in Salem. A man knocked unconscious after he came in contact with a power line Tuesday has died, according to police. Officials said the 59-year-old man was in a scissor lift doing work at 64 Loring Avenue when he came into contact with a National Grid power line. Police said the man was painting windows sills when the accident occurred. Officials couldn't reach the man and rescue him quickly due to the energized equipment. The contractor was taken to the hospital after National Grid came and shut the power off. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. Police said OSHA are at the scene investigating. Do you recognize him? Crash survivor looks to find mystery hero in photo. Let's take a listen to this video from WMTW News 8 from David Charnes.
He invited women to a spa to test a new body wash.
This soap.
You may not feel it, but some body washes can contain cleansers found in dish soap. Dove body wash is different. It has only the gentlest cleansers.
Just made me feel good.
This is Dove.
I just want to go to sleep. Stop talking to me. And he was like, no, don't go to sleep. You can't go to sleep.
Tara Hansen says if she had fallen asleep, she may not be here today.
So I was going to die. I thought I was going to die. It was pretty bad.
She was headed home to Gorham when another driver hit her head on, right on Route 25 in Westbrook.
He was just like right in front of me. It was just like this huge bang. It was crazy. I heard a lot of people screaming. A lot of people were screaming.
Amid that screaming, a calming voice, a man right at her window. A WMTW News 8 viewer sending in this photo of that crash. It's the first time Tara's seen it.
Yeah, that's my car. Oh my God, it's on fire.
And that mystery voice at the window, the man seen here in a red jacket.
I never even listened to see him. It was just the voice. He stayed with me the whole time, but he's like, you're not gonna leave your side until they make me. Like, he stayed there.
Now nursing shattered bones and learning to walk again.
When I look at that, I'm like, how am I alive? Like, it's crazy.
Hansen hopes to thank her roadside hero, who provided some humor amid all the pain, in person.
I kept saying, I can't feel my legs. He's like, there's a reason for that.
She's hoping someone out there recognizes him, at least the part of him caught on camera.
And his name was Mark or Mike. I can't remember what it is. Definitely started with an M.
And she says not everyone would stop to help.
I'm just happy he did.
Hansen has a long road ahead. She's going to physical therapy, and one of her goals is to walk again. Another is to put a face to that calming voice. In Portland, I'm David Charnes, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Dow and S&P post first 1% fall in 5 months as bank tumble. Healthcare reform worries remain. U.S. equities posted their worst day of the year Tuesday as banks forced pressure from falling yields while investors turned their eyes to a key House vote. How first daughter Ivanka Trump's role at the White House has grown. President Donald Trump's daughter Ivanka Trump has been by her father's side since he took office, joining him on a visit to the National Museum of African American History and Culture and a tour of Boeing Planet in South Carolina, among other trips. But with Monday's announcement that she'll have her own seat in the White House, she is getting an office in the West Wing as well as other upgrades. Her role as first daughter is heading into unprecedented territory. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday night. Good night, everyone. Bye.